Hello everyone. Today we have a very dynamic personality in front of us, Soumya Sharma, who has secured 218th rank in this year's UPSC 2024. The most important aspect, apart from qualifying civil services in the fourth attempt, Soumya Sharma, he's also income tax inspector. And previously he has qualified CGL examination, that is SSC CGL examination. Such a dynamic personality. So, Soumya, now can you tell about your journey, particularly what motivated you to draw yourself towards civil services?
Thank you, sir, for firstly having this conversation. Sir, my journey, I would say, started from 8th, ninth class when I first time I encountered a person who was a friend of my father's, and I got to know what is civil services itself. So from there on, sir, it started. But at first time when I actually pivoted towards UPSC civil services preparation was when I was doing my first job, which was a consulting job in Hyderabad. And at that time, I thought that I want to have, uh, I am not getting that type of job satisfaction that I wanted from my life, and that is why I pivoted towards UPSC civil services preparation. So that was my first time, and the motivation behind that was my father's and myself also, some things that I wanted from my life uh, that that aligned with the UPSC civil services.
Okay. I'll ask you a simple question, and probably it's a personal one. And the question is despite having a good family business, okay, and you know that civil services preparation, it's the uncertainty level is quite higher.
Yes.
So still you did not prefer your family business and still you move towards civil services?
So as I told you, sir, earlier also, that my father's, he also wanted me to be a civil servant.
Hmm.
So from childhood only, I was not very much inclined towards my family business, and my father's also did not included me in that.
Okay.
So he wanted me to focus on my studies.
Hmm.
So yes, sir. So I think if you get at that inclination in your childhood, then it is good. Otherwise, it is very difficult to then be part of your family business later on.
Then, since you have passed your degree, graduation from technical background,
Right, sir.
and that is BITS Pilani Goa campus.
Right, sir.
So you could have the other option by going into Indian Engineering Services or some or the other technical background, but still you chose the civil services.
Right, sir.
And as you have told, your the driven motivation was particularly your parents, and right from the childhood itself, you were inclined towards civil services.
Right, sir.
But technical services could have been a much better option, if you think.
So when I went into my mechanical engineering in BITS Pilani, it was not my individual decision. It was a collective decision. So there were my teachers, there is my father and me also. So we all took a decision that I should go for BITS Pilani, I should go for engineering, I should have a good job prospects also in the future. So that was a collective decision. When I went into my engineering, I got to know that it might not be the thing that I want to do for my whole life. So that clarity came when I joined my college. And after 2 years, after doing so many extracurricular activities, I was part of various clubs and departments.
Okay.
So I got to know that maybe my calling is somewhere else. So in college, I think that gave me clarity, not just mechanical engineering degree, but it also gave me clarity in life.
So this was your fourth attempt, I guess, correct?
Right.
So Soumya, what were the mistakes that you personally feel that you have done in your previous attempt, particularly in the prelims and the mains examination, that actually delayed your journey a bit?
So for me, I think because I had no contact with any person who has been selected, or from my family also. I was the first person who was giving civil services, so it was very difficult for me to get that guidance. So in my first attempt, I thought that okay, knowledge gathering or maybe learning everything would be suffice. So I did that, and I was not able to clear my prelims. So prelims required itself a very focused preparation. Then in the second attempt, I was able to clear prelims, but in the mains again, I faltered because of lack of answer writing preparation. So that again means I was not able to clarify. I was able to improve on those aspects in my third and fourth attempt, and in both of these attempts, I was able to reach the interview stages, and in the fourth attempt, I was also able to get into the final list, sir.
That's great. My another question, particularly, Like you might have heard about this and you might have went through that phase. Like civil services examination, it's not just the test of your IQ,
Yes.
it's also the test of your EQ, that is emotional quotient.
Precisely, sir.
Because like here sometimes you'll feel quite motivated and inspired, sometimes you'll feel a bit distracted, a bit disheartened. Isn't that so?
Right, sir.
So how to balance that phase specifically? Like what would be the advice? Like I'll give you a small example. Like there are many aspirants who are watching this podcast, and the aspirants do not, it is not compulsory that they come from a well of background. Many of them come from a diverse background.
Yes, sir.
They have to manage studies. Apart from that, they have to manage everything. So how to not get distracted in that phase when you're going through civil services?
So for me, because I am already a working professional, so one of the challenges that I encountered was the time. So even though my job had that work-life balance and I had good reporting authorities, but there were times when I didn't get time for studies, and that time I used to feel frustration also and anxiety. So maybe having a mentor at that point of time and having positive people around you gives you more optimism and gives you that confidence that okay, whatever time you have to limit your content and you have to crack it through that only. So sometimes it makes you respect your time much more. So whenever you are in such a position where you think that you are being distracted or you are, there are some challenges that is not letting you work it to at the best of your efficiency, then you have to understand that whatever time you have, you can still make it out in that time, but you just have to manage it with 100% efficiency, if one can say. And you have to have good optimist positive people around you who give you that confidence that yes, it has been done earlier also, it has been done by people who have faced the similar challenges and they have come out of on top, you can do the same. So I think that helped me a lot in my later stages of preparation to have that type of people around me, sir.
Okay. So one question that crops up from your answer here is that many a times aspirants put a lot of hard work into whatever they are doing. Okay. But sometimes one wrong thought in the mind. If this plan doesn't works, what is a plan B? So do you think so the aspirants who are preparing for civil services should have a plan B?
Sir, in my case, it was a necessity. But I would say if you want to have the plan B, sir, actually helps in two ways. So, firstly, because you now have to manage your time very effectively, it limits your content. That hoarding tendency that is in all of us, that you just cannot entertain that. So, firstly, sir, you learn time management. You learn to use your time effectively. You start respecting time much more.
Okay.
And secondly, sir, it also helps in you in giving added confidence. Sometimes it happened in my earlier attempts that I was not able to clear, but still I had that thought in back of my mind that I already have a job. It's not like I'm nothing out of this, apart from this exam I'm nothing. It's not like that. So I have my colleagues, I have my friends, I have some work that I have to do, so I have to go somewhere after doing this. So at least having that much thought in back of your mind gives you added confidence. So I think this could be a good thought for people if you are done with your foundation course, especially if you're done with your foundation, if you're done with your basic stuff, you can go for a plan B, because then you can revise it. You will have enough time to revise it and add whatever value addition you want to do in the limited time that you will get from your job. But if you're done with your foundation, I think you should go for a plan B, in my opinion.
The another question here is like many aspirants, like you might have faced the same problem. Like many aspirants have a problem choosing the optional, and optional plays a very pivotal role in your examination, approximately 500 marks.
Yes.
So, in that case, what would be your advice how to choose an optional? Because these days, usually what happens, like the aspirants, under populist pressure, they choose public administration, sociology, political science, just because these optionals are quite famous. Correct? But in that case, if that does not works for me, so what would be your best advice how to choose an optional?
Sir, first thing would be if you are choosing an optional in which you have already have done graduation, it is the best thing. If you are good in those subjects, in those optional in your graduation, then it is the best thing that you should go for that optional, because you already have such an healthy experience in that optional, and it will be much easier for you to then add on to it whatever you need for the UPSC civil services. So that would be my first recommendation. So I have seen a lot of people who are doing this and they have done good. So that can be one of the recommendations. Secondly would be, sir, to go through some of the reference books, some of the NCRTs, and some of the lectures and videos that are already available on the public websites, on the YouTube, you can see, where you can see what all things are comprising in this optional. Sometimes what happens that you have a very basic or surface level understanding of an optional, that you like this and you choose based on that fact, and then
Yes.
then you understand that okay, it's not like that. So many things are still there which I was not
True,
hoping
true.
for. So again, you have to be very careful while choosing your optional. You should go through all of these basic things to select that optional. Again, sir, there's no 100% or there is no sure short way of selecting your perfect optional, but then you'll have to do the hard work afterwards. But again, sir, at least you can do this bare minimum things so that you are in a comfortable position while choosing your optional.
My another question is, like, you might have heard about this, that many aspirants, they face problems with CSAT.
Right,
They
sir.
are quite good in prelims, particularly in the GS paper 1. There are many aspirants who score approximately around 100, 105, 110 in GS paper 1. But still they are not able to qualify CSAT. Although you're from technical background, so it would be quite easier for you to qualify CSAT. But what do you think should be the right strategy for the non-technical background or the humanities background aspirant to work for CSAT?
So the main thing about aptitude is that you do not need to learn it or you do not need to revise it often. If you are done with your preparation in the first attempt only, if you have given it enough time, if you have done the enough practice, then it would be with you in successive attempts also.
Okay.
So I would recommend or I would suggest people to do the CSAT preparation and to do the enough practice in their first attempt only, so that they are at least done with their CSAT, and they do not have that anxiety in back of my mind that I might not be able to clear prelims because of CSAT maybe in the next attempts. So I would suggest that do enough practice. It demands a lot of practice, diverse questions. If you need a lectures, go through that also. Otherwise there are YouTube videos. It's enough also, sir, I think, for CSAT. So whatever you want to do it in the first attempt and give it its enough time, whatever time it is required, and so that would be helpful in your next attempts. So yes, sir, I would that would be my.
Okay. So, Soumya, like, you were also into the job. So, the time management initially was a hurdle that you faced initially. So, there are many aspirants right now who are doing their jobs like approximately for 8 to 10 hours on daily basis. So, how do they manage their time particularly so that they can crack the exam within the very first attempt or the attempt that they are giving in? Because time management plays a very crucial role here.
Yes.
And since, as you have told, that you were not able to qualify this the in the previous attempts because of the time management, so what would be your suggestion to the aspirants who are working and they are going to give the civil services examination in the coming year?
Sir, for working professional, I would say that it is a double-edged sword, because you don't have enough time. Sometimes if you are not done with your basic preparation, then it could be a hurdle, I would say. But if you are done with your basic preparation and you just have to value addition on top of it, and you have to revise, it is a boon in that matter, because then you do not go for holding a lot of content, as I told you earlier, sir, and you just stick to some of the things, and you just try to revise it more and more, and you try to internalize whatever you have learned, and that works. So I would suggest for time management that whatever time is there in the morning and the evening, that is the best time for working professional. You have to utilize it. You cannot let it go. And Saturdays, Sundays, so there you have to do some sacrifices. You might have to lose on some of the trips that are being planned by your colleagues.
Yes.
So you'll have to do that. But Saturdays, Sundays are very important, sir, in life of working professional, because that is the moment when you can revise a lot of things that you have learned in the week, in the preceding week, or you have left some of the topics, questions practice, answer writing practice, or whatever you want to do, essay brainstorming, all can be done on Saturdays and Sundays. So weekend have to be used very effectively. Also, sir, your commuting time, that can also be used quite well. So for me, sir, I used to watch current affair discussions. So Study IQ also have a lot of videos, so that during that commute time I cannot read books and all. So I used to just use my earphones and tune into some
While
of these.
traveling, used to
Yeah,
listen
sir,
to them.
this
Yes.
current affair discussion.
Great.
So it's good way to be updated also and use your time effectively. So you have to make up time here and there, but that is the duty, I think, for working professional also.
That's great. So you come from Pratapgarh district of UP.
Yes, sir.
And so do I, because my native place is Pratapgarh, UP. Although I was born and brought up in Maharashtra,
Right.
so my native is Pratapgarh, UP.
Right.
So I'm fortunate enough to have a word with you. So my another question is like many people who cannot afford to come to Delhi to prepare for civil services, and in that case they prefer going through the online coaching.
Right.
Okay. So in that case, does online coaching help us in our preparation?
Sir, in my opinion, right now we have so much content that is available online. Firstly, you have to be very cautious also
Yes.
that you do not go for all of those things.
Mhm.
You have to select and then stick with it.
Selective reading, you mean to say?
Yes, sir.
It's
Selective
better
reading.
to read one book 10 times rather than reading.
Exactly. Or if you are going for a coaching also, then you also have to be very selective. Just select one and then do whatever is being taught there and add on top of it whatever you read from your books and all. So you'll have to be very selective in online medium.
Mhm.
Also, sir, everything now can be accessed through online. So I do not think that you have to be in Old Rajendra Nagar or you have to be in Karol Bagh to do the preparation. I think it can be done while sitting at your home, having that comfort at your home. It can be done, sir, from home also.
And my another question, like particularly, like during this entire journey, okay, like it was your fourth attempt as we discussed earlier. So during this entire journey, sometimes you might have felt that like we should give up because you had the plan, like you were working initially, you like you're an income tax inspector. So when you thought that let's give up because already I have a secure job right now. So in that case, how did you manage your emotions?
So, sir, last year when I
It
gave
might
my
have
interview,
happened. I'm
yeah,
sure
yeah,
about
it has
this.
happened, sir. So last year when I got to know that I was not in my final list. So I gave the interview, but I was not in the final list. So I felt very devastated at
I'm
that
sorry
time.
to disturb you, but can you tell me the reason behind that? Why didn't you qualify your previous interview? Anything that you felt?
Sir, interview it is very hard to decode that what does not work. But I think I might be very. There were some personal issues also at that time. But other than that, I would say that, sir, I was very nervous while giving that interview. It was my first interview, and I thought that I want to impress people who are there, and I might lacked some of the honesty that it was required for that personality test. So I took it as more as a Q&A that I have to answer. So I went for almost all of the questions that were asked from me, and I think I might be very generalistic, or I might have been very maybe also not very up to the mark in some of the questions that were asked. I could have just said no in various questions. So in retrospection, if I retrospective,
Got it.
if I see, but again, sir, I do not know what
So
was the
coming back to
actual
that
reason. Yeah.
question, yeah. So
Yes, sir. So after when I got to know that I was not in the final list, I felt very devastated. So at that time, I thought of just leaving this preparation because I thought ki okay, this time also it did not work, and I had done a lot of preparation that time with my job. So I was talking with my mother, so I was on phone with her for 4 or 5 hours straight, and she just used to console me that okay, no problem, you can do this also, you can do that also. And then I I remember that my father picked up the phone and he said ki you have 3 attempts left now, so go for one. So you just have to go. Do not worry because you already have a job, and you do not have to worry about us.
and because you had a quite supportive environment around
Exactly,
you.
sir. So I would say
That
that
was
whenever you feel that low, I think it is very important to share it with other people. To be vulnerable with other people, it is very important. To shed off those negative emotion, it is very important. So I was fortunate enough to have that type of parents, my brother and my sister. I still have so many messages from my sister that she used to support me a lot. Then I also had some of the mentors this time, sir. So as you said a little earlier, that you sometimes face that lows when you are doing the preparation. That is the time when you sometimes lose your effort, or sometimes you lose your consistency in your preparation because of those lows phases.
exactly,
So
yeah.
that happens especially for me, sir, and for a lot of candidates it happens between pre and mains when they are doing their job, and they think in between that, okay, I think I have not done enough. So that FOMO comes in, that okay, I might have to do this job, I have to might have to value addition from here, I have to do this course or something, like so many things comes at that time. And then at that time you have to be very sure of yourself. So I think I was fortunate enough to get some of the mentors who have been experiencing, who have experienced this in their earlier
Highs
attempts,
and lows,
and they
yes.
have come out of top of it. So I had the privilege of talking to so many of those mentors. I had two mentors who have already cleared it earlier, so they helped me a lot, sir, during these low phases, because they themselves told me that okay, so this is your low phase, mine was this, so it was much lower than yours, so I still was able to clear, so can you. So I think that type of people, as I told you just earlier, so that type of people, optimist people, positive type of people who gives you confidence. Sometimes the confidence of other people's in you makes you more confident. So that type of thing, if it is there na, then it helps, sir.
And like, what did you study for your geography optional?
So, sir, apart from doing my foundational courses, I did refer to some of the books that is usual. Everyone knows. So, Savinder Singh for geomorphology, oceanography, the physical part, and then Majid Hussain sir's book for human geography, Majid Hussain sir's book for Indian geography for the paper two. Apart from that, sir, one of my mentor was also from geography background and scored brilliant marks. So he told me some of the things that I have to, some of the minor tweakings that I have to do in my answer writing, structuring presentation, type of case studies that I have to do, and type of interlinking that I have to do from paper one to paper two. And that helped me this time, and I was able to increase my marks by 10 marks in my paper two.
Like, many of the aspirants have another question, that is it necessary to read the NCRTs and Tamil Nadu State Board books before directly entering into the preparation, or directly we can go for the reference books?
I would suggest sir to go for NCRTs, to read NCRTs, because it is in such a format that it updates you, firstly because you are just entering this preparation and you have been doing engineering or something else, so you have been doing so many things, you have left out that thing and you might not remember so many things. So NCRT is in some such a simple and lucid language that you can go through it. So I would suggest that go through NCRTs, read it like a book, like so many books that you read. So read it like in that way only, and do not try to make notes out of it. You just have to make, you just have to read it and just understand how the chronology happens. For example, in case of history, and in case of polity, you have to understand what is the significance of constitution itself, significance of so many articles that are there. So you get to understand the basic stuff, the foundation that is very much required, the concepts that are very much required to then go on to the reference books. Because I have encountered so many students who are now coming and talking to me, sir, that I have read whole Lakshmikant, but I do not know how to answer questions now, because the questions are not in direct way, they are analytical.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
until unless you have not understood the significance of why are you going to read these reference books, why are you going to read the constitution,
So you need
why,
to read the basics initially.
exactly, why is it required, why does a student know this, so that will come only from NCRT.
So this was about the beautiful journey of Soumya Sharma from the Pratapgarh district of UP. And particularly speaking, I hope this podcast will help you a lot. Now, before I end this podcast, I would like Soumya Sharma to say something. And my last question is, what would be your sun center message for the aspirants?
Sir, I would suggest people to have perseverance, because everyone's struggle story is not the same. So they have to have confidence in themselves, and they have to have people who have confidence in them. So you have to have some mentors who are experienced, who have faced difficulties. They will help you a lot. This has helped me a lot in this time, because apart from having knowledge, apart from having answer writing practice and everything, you have to have psychological capacity also to deal with all the emotions that come with the preparation. So for that, these type of people helps a lot. So I would suggest everyone to have those type of people around themselves, and then go for this exams, and then go do the required practice that is needed.
Great, Soumya. So with this, I'll end this session.
Thank you,
So
sir.
it was a wonderful speaking to you. Thank you,
Same here,
guys.
sir.
Thank you.